So apparently leveling ground is an issue for some people. I've watched several YouTube videos on it, and a lot of people aren't real clear on it. They're actually pretty bad on it. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and clear the foliage, just to give a starting point. And as you can see, I'm on a hillside. Let me eat something. Hopefully it'll make it a little better. So we want to make this area level. Hillside. That's kind of tough. Figures. Anyway, see, that's not a great area. Well, the first thing you have to know is when you're leveling ground, it has to be at your foot level. So where I'm standing here is a little lower than where I'm standing here. So I'll decide that my ground level should be, let's raise it up a little bit, about here. So now I'm going to start moving around and leveling everything I can in my reach. Get rid of this. These guys are going to make me kill them. Watch. Watch. It's coming. But what you notice is I can only reach so far and I can only do so much. I can't do anything with this. I can reshape it a little bit, but I can't do anything with it. Just not going to happen. So every once in a while you got to place a spike in the middle of it, and then you go back to your leveling tool and work on it some more. Remember, your leveling is at your feet. That guy's gonna miss me. I know he is. Sometimes it's actually far cheaper to level ground than it is to use stones to bring ground up. So that's what I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to get this area level. And I'm going to show you from beginning to end what I do to make it level. So apparently this is too high. Move this down. Move that down. Move that down. We'll keep working on this area. That area is lower than this area. That's a challenge, but we can do it. I'm going to stand up higher. So you raise the plants. Now I'm not burning any stone for leveling or raising ground right now. I'm simply burning endurance. You see the ground levels coming up? See this? See that? Just that little spot. See it again here. This is going to raise your ground and not cost you stone. Now I'm starting to move a little, so the ground level is changing, but let's go back to here. That spot's a little too high. Let's bring it down some. There's a little bit of art to this, I guess. See, I'll stand a little bit lower than the hill. I got stone. I'll stand a little bit lower than the hill and then hit level ground. See, it took the top down. It's all about my foot level. So now I want to raise this area to make it about the same as where I am. By the way, I haven't burned a single stone yet. I'm not raising any ground. I'm using the ground leveler to bring it up. Only because it's based on where my feet are. So you see my feet are here. If I was to go down here, lower, and try to level the ground, it's going to eat into the hill. So I'm going to stay up here and level the ground. Only thing I'm doing is putting wear on my my spade or hoe. Nobody likes a worn out hoe. So you slowly raise the ground in an area. You get the idea. Now if I were to say that's level, you guys would be like, you're full of shit. So let's show how level it is, or how close I got. That bush. So I'm a little high here. Now, in this case, I'll go ahead and spike the ground and keep going. Spike the ground. And maybe once more. Then keep going. Now, like in my other video, I mentioned when you get ground that's too high above your, I guess, foundations in this case, it's pretty simple. Just spike it. Now, the biggest thing is when you get to a certain point, it seems like the ground doesn't want to level anymore. You don't have a choice. It just doesn't want to move. But when you place a foundation, things change. Can't do anything here. Spike it. Place foundation. Move on. As long as the bottom part of that foundation is touching some ground, it counts. And if you skip a block, so let's do it here. Now that block is not touching ground. And we'll add one to it. And we'll add one. Yep, there it goes. So you just simply add ground to it. Come on. Oh well. Hadn't seen that before. There you go. As long as it's touching some part of ground, and I know that's a little shadowed and may not look quite right, but it's good. Let's add on to it. Alright, raise it a little more. So you get the idea. You have to, well, the stone, yeah, see this. Stone is which probably caused me the most problem. Building on top of stone is a little different than building on top of ground. For the simple reason that I can mine the stone. I'll show you in a second. And there you go. And I can't raise the ground above it. I'll try. Nothing's gonna happen. I can raise it over here. I can raise it over here. But I can't raise it right here. And the only way to get rid of that problem is to mine the stone, and then you end up with a hole that you have to fill in. So let's fill it in. Now I can place that stone. As long as it's touching ground. I don't know where I got off here, but we'll fix it. Now, adding on this is going to be difficult to where it'll last because it's not touching the ground. Yep, everything wants to break now. So we just add a little ground to it. Now, if you saw my other videos, I like to add ground from the bottom. A lot of people will be like, bam, 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 bam. And they'll live right here on the hilltop. I like to be below it because if you look at my crosshairs, I like to be just below. Just below. Just below. Just below. Because if you raise from the top, actually let me get rid of this bush. If you raise from the top, right from this edge, it'll go up. And if you go from right from this edge, it'll go up. Anytime you go from the edge, it'll go up. And the reason you can't go lower is because you have to get just over the edge. Yeah. See? That's a pain in the ass. Why not just say, I think I'll go from barely below to barely below to barely below. A little more below. A little below. See how easy that is? And I can just keep adding on and it'll be perfectly level by the time I'm done. I'll show you why. Of course, I'm on developer's mode, so there's no cost for any of this. Now look at the ground. Absolutely level, except for that spot. Absolutely level. And you can continue that for, well, you can only build 16 high. So if I were to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and I'll wait for my endurance. No matter what part of the world you're in, 13, 14, 15, 16, now nothing's going to happen. So if you're ocean level or if you're hilltop level, it doesn't matter. 16 is it. That's all you get. So here I'm probably 4 or 5 above. So it's not like I'm taking advantage of anything. I'm just ground level. Here's your availability. Do with it what you will. I'll come over here. I'll be below, little below, little below, little below, stay below, as long as I'm on that 16 spot or less. You can't dig any deeper or any higher in the game at 16. You can go 16 up or 16 down. That's it. That's all you get. So I can keep adding on to this up until I'm exactly 16 high here, and then I'm done. Or I can go 16 deep here, and then I'm done. So maybe that'll help a few of you. Maybe not. Hopefully you do. See you guys.